Hey all, Karie here from KT Facilitation. Today we're going to talk about employee development and coaching. Did you know that about 83% of employees say that they don't feel like they're getting enough development and coaching? That's a lot. And it's interesting because I was just having this conversation the other day with an individual. We were doing their organizational strategic plan, and one of the things that he had said when we got started was part of the strategic plan would be to include his succession plan. This was going to be the last strategic plan that he was part of. He was retiring from the organization. And you could see by the energy in the room and the conversations that were happening and the planning that was going on, that this was a really respected leader. People really looked at him and he had really made a lot of changes in the community, in their organization, and just impacted their lives in a really, really cool way. And those leaders are really hard to find. So he was definitely going to be missed. And one of the things that we were talking about in the succession plan, in their strategic plan to get ready for their succession plan, was, what is the direction that we really want this organization to go in? And the highlight and the thing that just kept coming up was individual leadership development and coaching. Like, how do we develop next leaders? How do we develop future people to take on different roles within the organization? And it was the theme that he kept bringing up and up and up. And it was so cool to see, because while he could have been talking about what you need to do to replace me and the things that I've put in place and the priorities that I have had, he was talking about what does the organization need to do to lift up the people who are here. And so we started talking about why that is. I told him I just really applauded his approach in leadership development and coaching. And he said, people are afraid of it. Organizations are afraid to invest into their employees. And why? Because if we upskill them, they're going to leave. They're more valuable to somewhere else. And they can go somewhere and get paid more or have a new challenge. And people don't want to, spend that money. It costs money to recruit. It costs money every time we have a new employee come into our organization. It costs money every time that someone leaves. So to think about adding more money into an employee and investing in their development, it's a fear for people. I think the average right now employment that someone stays with an employer is about 4 to 5 years. And I can say from my own experience, that's been true in a lot of mine as well. And it wasn't that I necessarily didn't like the organization or I didn't like the job that I had. It was that I was looking for something new. I was looking for a new opportunity, a new place to grow. And when we think about organizations who spend time, effort, and money into developing people, they might leave. It is a risk that you take. But if they're only staying in your organization, 4 years, 5 years anyway, because they don't feel challenged, because they don't feel invested, they don't feel valued, they're just coming to work and flying under the radar, just doing the work that they need to do just to get by, but not really contributing to the best that they could, then, what's the point? Thinking about if we only have somebody for 4 to 5 years, what if we got the best from them? What if they showed up and really had great innovative ideas, that they brought a lot of value to the organization, that they lifted the whole organization up, and we could see that change? And when they left, it was sad, but it was cool that what they did when they were here. And if we invest time and money into developing and coaching our employees, there's a really good chance they're going to stay past that 3 to 4 years, 4 or 5 years, right? Because now they're going to see themselves growing with you in your organization. So it's time to stop being afraid to invest in our employees. There are so many opportunities out there for coaching, for upskilling, the work that we do at KT Facilitation around facilitative leadership and just bringing in skills and processes that help people move organizations through change, through conversations, how to have those tough conversations, how to plan, and really how to even lead a meeting that's effective for everyone. So if you're looking for something for that in your organization, reach out And if we can't do it here, I will definitely send you somewhere that can. But let's commit in our next year, and as we start our next planning, that we're going to invest more into our own employees. Until next time.